Okay, let's do it.
Alright.
Come on.
I have my clearance lights, my headlights, my high beams, my low beams, my left signal, my right signal, my forward flashes, and my reflectors. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. They're all mounted and secure, working proper color and clean. Underneath my tractor, I have no drips or puddles to indicate leaks.
Okay.
I have my exhaust. It runs from my manifold all the way back to my tailpipe. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's mounted and secure, and there's no soot to indicate leaks. My alternator, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure. All my belts. They're not cut or frayed. They're mounted and secure, and there's no more than a 1/2 to 3/4 inch play. All my hoses. They're not cut, bulging, or leaking. They're mounted and secure.
Hard part.
I have my coolant, my power steering fluid, and my oil. They're all mounted and secure, not leaking, and full. My water pump, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, not leaking, and it's belt driven. I'll check this belt like I check the belts on the other side. My power steering pump and my air compressor, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, not leaking, and they're both gear driven. My air lines, my high pressure hose, my low pressure hose, my brake hose, and lines. I'll check these like I check my hoses on the other side. My shock absorber, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, not leaking hydraulic fluid. My frame from front to back, side to side, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, no illegal welds, and no missing bolts. My steering gearbox, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, not leaking. My connecting rod and links, which include my pitman arm, my drag link, my steering knuckle, my tie rods, my castle nuts, and cotter pins. Not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, no missing parts, and all my pins are present. My front spring mount, my rear, my leaf springs, and my U-bolts. Not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure. My leaf springs are all aligned and not shifted. My brake chamber, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, not leaking. My slack adjuster, push rod, and my pins, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, no missing pins, and I have no more than 1 inch of free play when my brakes are released. My drums and my linings, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, no missing parts, and my linings are not worn dangerously thin. My inner and outer hub oil seal, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, not leaking. My lug nuts, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, none are missing, they're all in place, and there are no shiny threads or rust trails to indicate looseness. My rims, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, no illegal welds. My tire is inflated to manufacturer specification. There are no cut, bulges, or leaks. It's mounted and secure, and there's a minimum of 4 30-second tread depth. My side cab light, I'm going to check this light like I check my lights up front. My hinges, door, and latches, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, securely latched. My mirror and my mirror arm, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, my mirror is clean. My fuel tank, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, not leaking, and my cap is tight. In my side compartment, I have my emergency equipment, a 10-pound BC fully charged fire extinguisher, 3 DOT regulated triangles, and extra fuses. They're all mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. My air lines, I'm going to check these like I checked my hoses up front. My splash guard, my mud flaps, and my trailer mud flaps, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, not rubbing against my tires or dragging on the ground. My catwalk and all of my steps, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, there's no obstruction. My drive shaft and my U-joints, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, my U-joints appear to be secure. My electrical line, it runs from the back of my cab to the front of my trailer. It's not cut or frayed, it's mounted and secure, and it's latched securely. My glad hands, Not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, not leaking, and my seals are intact. My header board top to bottom, side to side, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, and there are no holes. All my lights and reflectors from the front of my trailer along the side of my trailer, including my ABS light. I'm going to check these like I check the ones up front. My front control arm mount, my bushing, my control arm, my U-bolts, and my rear control arm mount that sits underneath my airbag. Not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure. My shock absorber, I'm going to check this one like I checked the one up front. My airbag, it's not cut or frayed, it's mounted and secure, and it's not leaking. My brake hose, brake chamber, slack adjuster push rod pins, drums, and linings. I'm going to check all these like I checked the ones up front. My tires, my rims, my lug nuts, my inner and outer axle seals. I'm going to check these just like I checked the ones up front, with the exception these are dual tires. There's a minimum of 2 30-second tread depth. My tires are not rubbing against each other, and there's no obstruction in between them. My platform and my mounting bolts, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure. My locking pins and my release arm, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure. No missing pins, and they're both in the locked position. My skid plate and my apron, which is the front of the trailer, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, and there's no space in between them. My kingpin and my locking jaws, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure. My locking jaws are locked around the kingpin shank. My air lines, I'm going to check these like I checked my hoses up front. I have DOT tape on the back of my mud flaps and along the side of my trailer. It's not cut or frayed, it's mounted and secure, and it's clean. I also have lights and reflectors on the back of my tractor. I have my brake lights, tail lights, 4A flashers, and my turn signals. I'm going to check all these like I checked the ones up front. I have sufficient clearance from the back of my tractor to my landing gear so they do not hit each other. My landing gear and the support frame, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, and it's in the fully raised position. My trailer frame from front to back, side to side, top to bottom, including my cross members and my floor. Not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, and there are no holes in my floor. My brake hose, brake chamber, slack adjusted push rod pins, drums, and linings. I'm going to check these like I checked the ones up front. My airbag and my shock absorber, I'm going to check these like I checked the ones on my drives. My tire, my rims, my lug nuts, my inner and outer hub seal, and the spacing. I'm going to check these just like the ones on my drives. My torsion bar and my bushings, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure. My tandem release handle and my locking pins, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, both in the locked position. My door hinges and latches, not cracked, bent, or broken, mounted and secure, all in the locked position. All my DOT tape, I'm going to check this like I checked it on the other side. All my lights and reflectors, my identification lights, brake lights, 4A flashers, signal lights, and my license plate light. I'm going to check these like I checked the ones up front. I'm going to check the right side as I did the left side. Any questions, guys?
That's it.